In the Hyundai Texans radio studio with head coach DeMeco Ryans. Coach, great to see you. Thanks for being with us.
See you guys.
All right, here we go into week 2 with Tampa Bay coming up. Just wrapping up the Rams game, which was a couple of days ago as we do this. Is there something you could take with you? I know there have to be a few things that you liked, that you saw, that you want to use in week 2, and there's a lot you want to improve as well.
For sure. Our team definitely did some really good things. All 3 phases, guys did some nice things, made some nice plays. The takeaway is, hey, we're there in the fourth quarter with a chance and opportunity to go win the ball game. As bad as it may seem, we didn't play well or whatever that looks like, we had an opportunity. And that's the NFL, right? 11 games last week came down to 1-score games, right? And so when you look at it that way, like how are you going to make the plays necessary to put yourself in a winning seat when you're in that fourth quarter? That's what I take from it. And the main thing for us is how can we control the controllables? How do we control those things that's tempo in and out of the huddle to make sure we're at the line of scrimmage, we can make the right calls, checks we need to make. We control that, right? The penalty, hands too high or your pads are not low enough. We control that, right? If we control those things, that mitigates some of the penalties that we were making that kind of shot ourselves in the foot. Now we're in second and long, third and long, and those are uphill battles that you just don't want to be in a game. So if we can come out this week, control the controllables, and just put ourselves in a position to have a chance to compete, then let's see what happens.
I know we talked about this a lot, Coach, the physicality defensively was there. What did you think when you went back and watched the film offensively from a physicality standpoint? There were a couple times where I was like, whoa, that looked really good. What did you think when you went back and looked at it overall, just the physicality of your team in general?
Yeah, well, our team plays physical. You put the tape on. You talked about the defense. I mean, guys are hitting. I don't want to play against our defense. But, I mean, the way Kamari comes up and hits as a corner, I mean, it's no one better at doing it. Henry played physical. Z, all our guys play physical. Up front, offensive line, I thought Titus played physical. He had some nice finishes on some plays as well. Of course, Cade was straining and playing physical as well. Unfortunate. We'll miss him for a little bit. But there are glimpses of physicality all throughout our tape.
Right.
And that's how we should play. Yeah. That's what Texan football look like. Now we just got to clean up some of the other little finer details, and we'll be off and rolling.
And you had 2 good defenses playing clutch ball at the end because you got the ball out with Aziz's hit and threw the challenge flag, didn't get that call, so you had to throw the flag, and you probably felt pretty confident about that at the time. Got the ball back, able to get it into scoring range. I know it didn't work out ultimately, but you had to feel good about that defensive takeaway.
Oh, felt outstanding. That was the one thing we talk about throughout the week. Like, this game is going to come down to the ball, right? And we have to take the ball away. And I'm on the mic. I'm always talking to Aziz before the series. Hey, remember, we got to get the ball. Came down to that one, but we got it at the right time at a critical moment. And then you see how the ball goes. Same for them and their defense. Like, the corner made an outstanding play. Higgins goes up. He has the ball in his hands. Guy takes the ball away. Great play by him. And then their linebacker, Dari is going down to the ground. The ball's a little loose. He punches it exactly, at the pinpoint accuracy. Like an outstanding play by him. But that's the game. You have to protect the ball. You have to attack the ball, and that's always our main emphasis.
Coach, when that play happened, that bootleg, not talked about by anybody, but Will Anderson shuts down the first guy going to the flat, which forced him to go to Parkinson. Right. So he gets the ball comes out, the line judge in front of us is waving incomplete. From that point to the point that you threw the challenge flag, what was kind of going through? Because I looked to see whether you were going to do it, and I saw your eyes first go up. Mm-hmm. What was kind of the process of you deciding to go ahead and throw the flag at that point?
Yeah, it was an interesting play because as I see it, the ball is out, everyone is excited. And I see as the line judge is coming, he waited for a minute, right? He didn't immediately say incomplete or so he was – so I talked to him and I like, what's your process? What are you –
Right.
And then he was like, he had to replay it in his mind, and I'm trying to look up on the screen and let me see if I get a replay. Right. Which obviously you're in the away stadium, you're not getting the replay. And then, man, just from the guys upstairs, also asking them, hey, what did you guys see? Or can you guys see a replay?
Right.
Like, can you guys help? Man, I mean, at that point in the game, timeouts didn't matter. Like
Right.
we needed needed that ball.
Right.
And the main thing also is you throw the challenge flag there because Daniil Hunt also, that's the play. Daniil,
Gets the
if
ball.
you watch the play again, Daniil he's probably the farthest guy from our sideline. He comes over and he gets down, he gets the ball. So for us having a clear recovery by our defense, we had to challenge that one.
Right. Yeah, you have to make sure you get that part
Yes,
too.
you had to make sure we had
It's
the ball
a fumble,
first.
but you don't have it.
But when I
Oh.
saw you look up at the board, I was like, oh, man, I know I want to see a replay of this, but I got a
Not
feeling we're not
happening.
seeing one for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah, that was amazing stuff. Okay, offensively, we saw some good things running the football. You were able to get a good yard per carry number in the game. I know you want it to be better on third down, though, so you get more of those opportunities, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think Chubb ran the ball really well. We tried to mix it up with the backs. Got Woody some touches. Damian, we're going to try to lean in with Chubb a little bit more. I think he deserves it. He's shown that he continued to get better as the game went on. You saw him running stronger, finishing plays in a physical manner. So we got to get him going a little bit more, right? And I think he can really help us. CJ did a nice job helping that rushing average by scrambling a little bit. Such a nice drive there before the 2 minute. During the 2 minute at half, he did a really nice job scrambling to put ourselves in position to get points there. So I think offensive line, just stay after with our double teams, being a hat on a hat. That won't change. We're always want to get a hat on a hat in the run game and really emphasize our wide receivers getting in, blocking the support players, and that'll help our run game continue to thrive.
Coach, I've always said this about teams. If they're good at the end of halves, end of games, that's a really good coaching staff. And, well, you know how I feel about you. I think you're great at what you do. But the fact that you give up the touchdown, which I know bothered you because you had guys there to make a play, but the way you responded in that last 2 minute drill, and then the way you responded, I think we got the ball at just under 4 minutes or at 4 minutes, and what you did to kind of move the ball forward in that part. You work on situations all the time at training camp and preseason. Did you kind of feel like all that work you saw in those two kind of last part of the half and last part of the game drives from CJ in the offense?
You definitely see it, and in those moments, you just want to see your guys just have the confidence. Been here before, done it, know what to expect, and just seeing our guys operate with confidence, seeing our offense start to drive down the field with even more confidence in those 2 minute situations than some of the other moments in the game, right? It's very encouraging to see what we're capable of. Right. We just have to put it together for 60 minutes, but very proud of our coaching staff and our coaches for having our guys, being confident in those situations.
Right.
CJ running the football, Coach. He makes plays that way, made the play to get you into field goal range at the end of the half. I know you don't want to see it all the time, but it is a valuable weapon selectively.
Yeah, it is a very great weapon. I mean, when he does it the right way, like stepping up in the pocket, escaping, it unlocks a defense. Right now, he's put on tape several times that he will run. He can gain the first down. So what do you do as a coverage player? Are you staying back in coverage? Are you coming up to get the quarterback? That's the part that you put defenders in a bind. If you want to come up, now he still has the capability. LA Chargers playoff game, right? Get it, scramble, and throw it downfield as well. So him continuing to work those where he can escape the pocket and make you pay downfield, that threat is hard to stop. So I encourage him to continue to do whatever it takes for us to win games.
Coach, most of the guys on defense were guys that were here last year for the most part. And then CJ gets hurt, and so he missed the preseason game. So this is really the first time having CJ on the field. What was that like with just communication, movement? I saw there was one play, I'm trying to remember which one it was, where CJ was on the fly, like pointing at Kalen because motion was going that way for him to get up, and then CJ was going back. How was kind of that communication with CJ that first game? What'd you think of the way he played?
The communication, it was solid. It was a couple of good moments, some not so great moments, things we have to improve on with our communication and just how we're operating in the back end. So we got to see more improvement from our secondary guys.
What about the kickoff game, Coach? Fairbairn had a great day kicking field goals, and he was on his way to AFC Special Teams Player of the Week maybe in that category. But I know you want to see better performances out of kickoffs and fielding the ball, but it is weird with this landing zone and bad hops and do I field it or not and that kind of thing. How do you address that?
I think the NFL, we got what we want, right? You got a play that you have to put your eyes on now because who knows what will happen. That ball hits the ground, bouncing all over the place. First off, as a kick return unit, we have to feel the ball better. I think we put ourselves in a negative spot too many times by allowing the ball to roll in the end zone. We take the touchback. Now we're at the 20-yard line. So their kicker did a really nice job of hitting some kicks. I had to give him that, give him credit. He hit some nice kicks. They were difficult. I'm not saying it's easy by any means, but we got to just continue to work on that. And from the kickoff perspective, like once the ball hits the ground, we can take off. So our eyes, we have to be locked and loaded, ready to see. Once the ball hits, you got to take off, and we got to do a better job of just avoiding blocks. We allowed the play to get out. The big return, we allowed it to get out. Luckily, Dare drew a holding penalty, but we can't allow that. Everybody got to get off blocks and play faster and finish to the ball carrier.
I'm not going to say you're an old school player, but when you did play, the touchback was at the 20-yard line. It's got to be weird for you that now the 20 feels like I'm in my own end zone or something, right? Compared to the 30, 35. It's crazy.
Yeah, it does, man. Old school player.
I'll tell you what, when you see from behind the kicks that Cardi made for the Rams, he looks like who's a modern-day knuckleballer. I don't even know. I'd go to Joe Negro. That's who I would go to. That ball was moving all over the place, and then boom, it hits, and you're like, you got no idea. I mean, even you played shortstop back in the day, you have no idea where that ball is going once it hits. I mean, it was incredible. Coach, you mentioned CJ and his ability to scramble, get out of the pocket, and do those things. The quarterback we faced Monday night can do that a little bit too. We saw him a couple years ago in Baker Mayfield. I know you're probably not all the way into your Bucs prep at this point, but just from what you remember facing Baker and a guy just that has that mobility, that has those guts in the 2-minute drill to go down and make a play. There's a challenge on Monday night facing a guy like Baker. What are your early thoughts?
Yeah, Baker is playing the best of his career. He keeps their team in games because of his ability to scramble and make plays down the field. Passing-wise, they have arguably one of the best receivers that do it in Mike Evans. He's productive every year. Every year he's making plays, and he's still doing that. They add the young kid, Egbuka from Ohio State. He pops off the tape. He made some nice plays versus Atlanta on yesterday. So it's going to be a fun challenge. Baker is the guy. We got to find a way with our defensive line. You got to find a way to keep him in the pocket, make him uncomfortable, right? Make it difficult for him to see, make sure we're getting our hands up because he does have a low trajectory throw. But we got to make sure we're covering them. And that starts where we can improve defensively from our last week to this week is our eyes have to be right. We have to play with great eye discipline. When we got loose on some plays against the Rams, our eye discipline was not on. So if we play that the right way, make it as challenging as possible with our D-line getting after Baker, then we'll be in a really good spot.
Yeah, it's a big contrast from week one. They're both really good quarterbacks, but Stafford doesn't move around as much.
Yes.
He does have that lightning rod delivery, though, but Baker has a pretty good arm as well.
Yeah, Baker has a great arm, but we have to be ready. Now, Stafford's just standing back in the pocket like – statue. Now we got a squirrel running all over the place. We got to be able to get him down. But I'm confident in our guys. Played him before. He made some nice plays versus us. We were able to bounce back and make some plays versus them. It's going to be a good battle. Todd does a really good job. He's done a great job his entire coaching career of mixing up the pressures, making it difficult for offenses. And they've kept some continuity. Although they lost Liam Cohen last year, they just moved up Josh Grizzard, and he's running the same offense. Right? He knows what Baker likes. You can tell they're doing similar things. This will be a little different with the run game. We'll see more gap scheme runs than we've seen before, a lot of offensive linemen pulling. All right, so we got to be ready to fit those runs. That'll be a little different for us, and then you just got to be sound in your coverages.
Coach, you mentioned it with Todd Bowles and pressure packages. And we know that you want to be successful on 1st and 2nd down so that you're not 3rd and 12, you're not having penalties, those kind of things. Is it that much more important because of how Todd calls the defense and the pressure packages he brings to be that much more on it? Right. So you're not 3rd and 12, you're 3rd and 2, if anything else.
Yeah, we have to have a heightened sense of urgency to make sure that when that picture changes, because I spoke about, he does a really good job of really disguising the blitzes so you don't know who's coming, when they're coming. But when that picture changes, we have to be ready to react and make the proper adjustments so we can play on schedule. We can stay on track. Get out, 2nd and medium, right? 3rd and medium. That's where we want to operate, and that's where we'll thrive, and we'll be able to sustain drives. And we get longer drives, it's going to lead to points.
Coach, 2 years ago, we had noon start every week. It was very routine. This year, you start out West Coast, late game, get back late. Now you have Monday Night Football, and that's what happens when you're a good team. You have these primetime games. So how do you handle this week? We know you gave the guys maybe a Monday breather of sorts, but going through the week, you kind of push everything back a day to simulate a regular game week, right?
Yeah, we try our best when we have the opportunity to simulate a regular game week, right, where we have our Wednesday, Thursday, Friday practice model, and then we have a day before game. So we gave the guys an extra day on Monday. Now we push the week back so everything feels normal to the guys. Guys should be rested and recovered from the West Coast trip. And having these games at different times and different days, I just tell when the ball is kicked off, let's go. Let's go play. It really doesn't matter. You try to get on this time schedule or it's a little different. It's going to be different. It's like, but you're playing football, right? Don't forget, keep the main thing the main thing. Let's go play football great whenever it's kicked off, whatever day is on. Let's go handle it the right way.
And you know more than anybody, having played defense in this building, that this crowd can be your 12th man, getting it hype, making Baker have to really work to get communication. How important does the crowd become jacked up on Monday night?
Man, we need it big time, right? Especially defense, right, man? We can have our crowd loud, making it uncomfortable, making it difficult for them to communicate. It's always an advantage. It's always that 12th man advantage, so we need that always from our fans. We're here at home. Got a lot of opportunities here at home to help the team in a positive way. So we're looking forward to our fans doing that for us.
And the game starts at 6 o'clock. I'm going to say it to the camera. All right, Coach wants you there early. He'll give you a note so you can leave work early. There you go. Sorry, I made that promise for you, Coach. But along the lines of you saying, hey, when they kick the ball, we just got to be ready, right? You were talking about injuries this way. You have some injuries, no doubt. You dealt with injuries week 1 this year, went into the game with some issues, and more issues creep up all the time in the NFL. But you made the point, you got to be ready to go. It doesn't matter. I mean, when you played here, you were part of the Next Man Up season of 2011, and you've had some Next Man Up situations here already in your first 2 years, and here we go again.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what the NFL is all about. And so many great stories of guys who took advantage of their opportunity when a guy went down, right? And Tom Brady, guy goes down, like there he is. Like you get your opportunity. And, you know, the other part is you have so many – the guys who are on this team, you talk about practice squad guys or the second team guys. Like every guy believes they should be starting.
Yeah.
Right? And every guy believes they can do it. Like, and I just want my chance. So that's what the room is made of. Yeah. So it's so many guys that I can't wait to see, like, what do you do with that opportunity? And when you get it, don't look back. Like, make it yours. Take that job, make it yours, and impact the team in a positive way to make it better.
All right.
I know one guy that we're going to end up missing for a little bit, Coach, you mentioned, and that's Cade Stover.
Yes.
And it looked like Sunday he was doing some really good things. What had you seen from Cade up to this point? I know we'll miss him for a little bit. What had you seen from him up to this point?
Yeah, he was one of our most improved players all throughout the offseason, training camp, most improved, and even in that game, just seeing the way he was blocking at the line of scrimmage, seeing the strain, the physicality. Like he hurt himself on a play where he's going to kick out a defensive end, and he's just straining. Unfortunately, hurt his foot. We're going to miss him, right? He brings that toughness, that edge to our offense that we need. So next man up, we'll got to step in and get rolling, man. But definitely going to miss his presence because he's a leader in his own way for our team.
All right, the Amegy Bank Ask Coach question of the week. A listener wants to know, is there anybody you could share with us that you talk to outside of the building, a mentor of yours from time to time, whether it's to get coaching advice or just life advice for coaching or however it would relate to the question, Coach?
Yeah, coaching mentor is Johnny Holland. Johnny, Texas A&M,
oh boy.
Aggie. So he's a guy who he coached me here when I was with the Texans, and he's always been a great friend. Great guy I can talk to anytime, always. I mean, you talk about life advice, coaching advice. He's the guy that I rely on the most.
Excellent. Right. Coach, thanks a lot for joining us. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.